the sense of what we have learned and separating fact from fiction. The very latest on this story on WFLA.com. We're now live across all platforms here on WFLA Now.
All right. Good afternoon and welcome to the Frank and Pam Bearfield Training Center. I'm Captain Keith Sescaleba. That's spelled Keithsescaleba with the Hoover Police Department. Joining me at the podium today will be Hoover Mayor Frank Brocato, spelled Brocato, and Hoover Police Chief Nick Durzis, spelled Derzis. You may also hear from Lieutenant Daniel Lowe, spelled Lowe, of the Hoover Police Investigations Division. Mayor Brocato will make a brief opening statement, and then Chief Durzis will read a prepared statement. After Chief's statement is complete, there will be an opportunity to ask a few questions regarding this investigation. Keep in mind that this is still an ongoing investigation, so there may be some questions that we cannot answer. With that, I will turn it over to Mayor Brocato.
Thank you and good afternoon for you all coming today. You know, 6 days ago, our community learned about the disappearance of Carlee Russell, and it sent fear and pandemonium not just through our city, but the entire state and the nation as well. The media quickly joined us to get the word out about Carlee. Our community sprung into action, and they organized search parties, arranged prayer vigils, and they took other steps that I'm not even aware of to help in this situation. The Hoover Police Department quickly rallied multiple partner agencies, stopping at nothing to find Carlee. I'd like to take this time to say thank you first to the Hoover Police Department, our partner agencies, our wonderful community, and to all those that aided in some way in connection with this situation. As the days have gone on and more information has been shared, we know everyone has questions. The Hoover Police Department is known for being very methodical and thorough with their investigations. For that reason, we did not feel comfortable speaking in detail publicly until now. It is important that we share this information now so that our community can be put at ease. So at this time, I'll turn the microphone over to Hoover Police Chief Nick Durzis. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank everyone for being here today. Besides me stands the team who played a significant role in this investigation. I want to thank our department, members of surrounding local law enforcement agencies, the FBI, Secret Service, United States Marshals, and ALEA for their assistance in this case. We said from the evening of July 13th, our focus would be the safe return of Carlee Russell. That occurred on Saturday, July 15th, approximately 49 hours after she called 911 and disappeared. From that point, our focus has been to determine Carlee's whereabouts during that time and what exactly took place. Let me say up front, this investigation is not over. We're still working this case, and we'll work in this case until we uncover every piece of evidence that helps us account for the 49 hours that Carlee Russell was missing. However, through the public interest, and in some cases, public fear that this story has generated, we owe it to our citizens to tell them the facts that we have uncovered. So I will give you the facts that we know today. On July 13th, at approximately 8:20 p.m., Carlee left work from a business at the Summit. Surveillance video from her place of employment shows Carlee concealed a dark-colored bathrobe, a roll of toilet paper, and other items belonging to the business prior to her departure. She ordered food from Taziki's at the Colonnade and traveled there. She then traveled to Target on 280, where she purchased some granola bars and Cheez-Its. From there, she remained in the parking lot at that shopping center until 9:21 p.m. when she drove to I-459. Carlee communicated on her cell phone with individuals known to her while on her path of travel up to the point of calling 911 at 9:34 p.m. And at this time, we will play the 911 call in its entirety.
Hi, I am on Interstate 459, and there's just a kid just walking by themselves. Oh, hold on. Where on 49 are you? I'm right next to the exit 10 by the Hoover Med, like to get off by the Hoover Med. Okay, so you're before that exit? Yes. Okay, and were you headed southbound or northbound? Like towards Tuscaloosa or towards 280? Towards Tuscaloosa. Okay, and was the child on the left or right side? On the right side. Were they walking northbound or southbound? They're walking towards Tuscaloosa. Walking southbound? How old do they look? Like a toddler, like maybe like 3 or 4. Did you pull over with them? Are you still with them? Yes. Okay, are you with the child right now? No, I'm not. I didn't get out of the car. I can see them though. Do you mind staying and keep an eye on them until we get there? Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, what kind of car are you in? I'm in a red Mercedes-Benz. Is that a sedan or SUV? SUV. I mean, it's a sedan, sorry. Can you put your hazards on for me? Yeah, they're on. Okay. Did you talk to the child at all, or did you say anything to them? No. Okay. No. Do they look like they're injured? No, they don't. Are they white, black, Hispanic, or Asian? They're white. Okay. Is it male or female? I think it's a boy, a little boy. White male? Okay, so is he wearing clothes? Yes. Okay. What is he wearing? It's a white t-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper. And you don't see any cars anywhere? No, no cars anywhere. Okay. All right. What's your name? My name is Carlee Russell. And you don't see any injuries on the shop from where you're at, correct? No, but I can't really see them that good. Okay, try to keep an eye on them for the best that you can, because I don't want you to lose track of them. Okay. All right, and do they have shoes on? No. Not that I can see. I can't really see that one. Okay. All right, I've got them on the way, okay? Just try to keep an eye on them, but officers are on the way, okay? Okay, thanks. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Carlee called a relative after speaking with the 911 operator. She went missing during that conversation sometime after 9:36 p.m. Traffic camera footage was obtained which depicted this portion of the incident, and that footage was analyzed as part of the investigation in conjunction with the 911 call and cell phone data to accurately determine the time frame. Carlee's 911 call remains the only report of a child on the interstate, despite numerous vehicles passing through the area at that time. No one has called to report that a child is missing, and the Hoover Police Department did not locate any evidence of a small child walking down the interstate. Data from Carlee's phone, including her Life 360 app, shows that she traveled approximately 600 yards in her vehicle while she was on the phone with 911, stating that she was following a child. 600 yards. That is 6 football fields straight, 600 yards. The Hoover 911 Center received a second call from Carlee's mother stating that a relative was on the phone with her when they heard Carlee scream, and then they had an open phone line. Hoover police officers arrived on the scene within 5 minutes of being dispatched, and several other officers arrived shortly. They located Carlee's wig and cell phone in the grass near the vehicle. Her purse was located in the front seat of her vehicle with her Apple Watch in the purse. The food she ordered for Tzatziki's was also in the car. The items she purchased from Target, as well as the items taken from her place of employment, were not in the vehicle, nor were they located anywhere around the scene. Hoover police deployed all available assets from the point in the search for Carlee. Additional resources were called in to include our own drone unit, crime scene investigators. Numerous detectives responded to the scene. Throughout the day Friday, officers from surrounding local and federal agencies assisted Hoover Police in the search for Carlee Russell. Officers returned to the scene on 459 to conduct a thorough line search for evidence. K-9 teams from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department responded to check for any sign of Carlee, the child that she claimed to see, and anything else that could be considered evidence in this case. Those searches all turned up empty. Private citizens, including search parties organized by her family, friends, began looking everywhere that they could to find any trace. These searches took place throughout the day Friday and again on Saturday, yielding nothing. At 10:44 p.m. on July 15th, the Hoover 911 center receives a call from Carlee's residence stating that she returned home on foot. In subsequent investigations, detectives obtained surveillance footage of Carlee walking down the sidewalk alone prior to arrival at her residence. She was conscious and speaking with paramedics when she was transported to UAB. Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her prior to being treated and released. During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claims he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler. She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby crying. She told detectives the male had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and then was put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded, but was not tied up because the captor said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact. She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair, but could not remember anything else. At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence. During this interview, detectives noted that Carlee had a small injury to her lip, and she claimed that her head was hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash in her right sock. Out of respect for Carlee and her family, detectives did not press for additional information in this interview and made plans to speak with her in detail after giving her time to rest. Detectives continue analyzing data from Carlee's cell phone that was left behind at the scene. We enlisted the help of the United States Secret Service in conducting this analysis. Part of what data includes several internet searches in the days leading up to her disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, "Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?" was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "How to take money from a register without being caught," was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term Birmingham bus station was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted. There were two searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at Carlee's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert. There were other searches on Carlee's phone that appeared to shed some light on her mindset, but out of respect for her privacy, we will not be releasing the content of those searches at this time. We've asked to interview Carlee a second time, but have not been granted that request. As you can see, there are many questions left to be answered, but only Carlee can provide those answers. What we can say is we've been unable to verify most of Carlee's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case. Thank you very much.
With that, we'll open the floor for some questions. Please raise your hand and I will call on you. Carol.
Chief, do you expect any charges against Carlee Russell in connection with the disappearance and in connection with what was taken from the Woodhouse car?
Right now, our focus is to determine those 49 hours, so the investigation continues. So to be perfectly honest with you, that hasn't even entered our mind or been discussed.
One more question. Is it surprising to you that the family has not been cooperative in returning to be questioned?
Well, I think the family has stated to us that they didn't think that in her mental state right now, because of trauma of the incident, that she's not ready to talk, is what we've been told.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, question for the chief. You stated that the abductor had orange hair. Was this abductor black male? Was it female, black female, white female?
I believe it's a white male. Am I correct by saying that? Was it ever? Yeah, white male.
Is this alleged abductor yet on loose in the Hoover area?
Don't believe so.
Yes, ma'am.
Chief Brittany Deal, WBRC, has a toxicology report been done, and were any drugs or illegal substances found in her system?
We have no report of that.
Is any indication of mental illness in this case?
Not that I'm aware of.
Lisa.
There's been a concern in the community that if this turned out not to be a true story, that the next time a young woman of color was missing, that it might not be taken seriously. How would you respond to that?
I'd respond to say that we investigate every crime to the fullest, just like we have this one.
Was she traveling with anyone? Excuse me. Was she traveling with anyone since the time she disappeared, to your knowledge?
And not to my knowledge.
Chief, I know you said you weren't able to verify a lot of aspects of the story. Where do you think she went, and how would you characterize what happened here?
You know, that's the $100 question. You know, we pretty much know exactly what took place from the time she left work until she got on the 911 call, and we can see getting out of the car on the interstate from that footage. And after that, I think she only knows. We don't know.
Well, one quick follow-up. Her parents. Did you speak with Carlee's parents, and why do you think it is they were so adamant that there was an abductor?
Yeah, I think parents are believing what their daughter's saying, and we've had a very good rapport with the parents, met with them on several occasions. I've talked to them today a few times, and to make them understand that we're under pressure from our community, not only in our community of the state, but nationally when the story hit. And I just wanted them to understand that today we were going to have a press conference, and what we were going to detail today are facts. And everything that I've told you today is actual facts. It's not innuendos. It's not what I think. It's not what these detectives think. It is the factual information that we have.
Chief, how much time do you think you'll give the family before going back to Carlee for sentencing?
Well, I think our detectives have talked to the parents, and we're ready. We're ready to talk as soon as she's ready. So, you know, she called right now. We're ready.
You had one word to describe what went on. What would that be?
How about unknown? You know, we know the facts that we have. Everything else is unknown at this time.
In the back.
What have the past few days been like for you, your department? This has been a stressful search. hasn't it?
Well, absolutely. And again, the focus of the investigation that Thursday when she went missing, of course, the focus was to get Carlee home. That's what we wanted her safe and sound. And that's all happened. And then, of course, this has gotten to be not only a local state story, but a national story. So, you know, it's a lot of stress on everyone in the Hoover Police Department, and the mayor, to every citizen here. We want to know the truth.
As you stand here, are you frustrated?
I wouldn't say I'm frustrated. I mean, I'm very happy that Carlee's home. That was the main ingredient here. And then we'll figure it out. I promise you that. We'll end up figuring it out.
Any idea about the number of manpower hours or the expense of the drones and all the rest of the search that might have cost the city and the state and the federal government?
Yeah, we haven't had time to consider that, but it's you know, again, these detectives that are here, this is just a small group of people that have been associated with this case. We have put every available resource that we have on this case because we wanted to make sure that we found out everything. We wanted to get her home, and we have.
Chief, is there any prior indication of mental health problems?
Not that I'm aware of.
Can you just expand on the brought in, what were they doing exactly as you all were searching for them? Just expand on that.
Sure. A lot of the from the FBI side, several agents helping us interview. I mean, as you well know, in a case like this, especially when it goes national, we got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of calls. And when you get those calls, some of them may just be outlandish, but you got to follow up on them, because you never know that you may get that one tidbit. And I'd also say too that we had a great cooperation with the family. The family received hundreds and hundreds of tips, and every time they got a tip, they sent it to us.
Would you say a crime has been committed?
No, we have not determined that. No.
Keith Mims, WAGG 610 Summit Media. Question for Chief. With all of the searches that you mentioned, Chief, that were on Carlee's phone, does that kind of give you an indication of her mind state during this ordeal, 48 hours
Yeah.
that she went missing?
Well, again, we want to talk in facts, and I do think it's highly unusual to the day that someone gets kidnapped, that 7 hours, 8 hours before that they're searching the internet, Googling the movie Taken about an abduction. I find that very, very strange. Yes.
Do you feel confident, your investigators feel confident that you know why Carlee Russell may have done this?
No, we do not know. Absolutely not.
Chief, can you explain for us, you mentioned that while at you said Carlee was on the phone with 911, she was traveling 6 football fields, which tells you what?
Which tells me that I've had kids, and I'm sure a lot of people here have, and it's very, very, again, she said it, and I'm not saying it couldn't happen, because I've always been one of these guys, never say never, but 6 football fields. I like athletics, I like football. 6 football fields. To think that a toddler, barefoot, that could be 3 or 4 years old, is going to travel 6 football fields without getting in the roadway, without crying, without any just moving down. It's just very hard for me to understand.
Chief, have you used any technology to enhance that video from 459? And did you see a man grab her?
We did not see, from what we can tell, we don't see anybody on the interstate other than her car and then someone getting out of her driver's side. We have sent that off to the FBI for enhancement. It has not been returned.
Do you think in this case that charges will be forthcoming towards Carlee Russell? And how serious of a crime is it to not only fabricate a 911 call, but to lie to law enforcement during an investigation?
Well, again, that's not something that we've been discussed since we're going through the still investigation. But people have to understand that when someone says something like this, we put every available resource. Everybody comes together from, like I say, state, local, federal. It's just a lot of work, and gentleman early said frustrated. I mean, it is a little frustrating to think that all this has been done and we can't find anything out.
Did anyone see her calling in from the side of the road when she made that 911 call?
No, not to my knowledge.
All right,
So
last
is
question here.
Is this investigation held up until you can speak once again to Carlee Russell?
Well, there's a few things that we're still doing, but obviously we want to talk to Carlee as soon as we can and do an in-depth interview. And at that time, I think we'll have these investigators doing some other things. So
All right, that's all the questions we're going to answer today. We appreciate you guys coming, and we'll be following up with y'all later. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, Chief.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Breaking news on WFLA Now. Here's JB Buno.
Carlee Russell claims she was abducted by a man who emerged out of the woods along I-459 Thursday night, but missing items, a troubling Google search history, and a lack of a second interview with law enforcement leave investigators and the public with doubts as to whether or not her story is true. Hello there, folks. JB here with you live on WFLA Now across all platforms as we try to process so much of what we have learned, but also so little as to what exactly happened Thursday night when Carlee Russell vanished alongside I-459, calling 911, claiming to see a white boy clothed walking along the interstate before a man emerged out of the woods, abducted her, took her back to an 18-wheeler, followed by a second recapturing, all leading up to her turning up on foot Saturday night at her home in Hoover, Alabama. tremendous amounts of questions in our comment section. We're going to do our very best to go through them. And we're going to try, of course, to stay as fact-based as
All right. All right, enough of that. I said enough of that. Y'all can hear me? So it took her wig off and everything. Y'all can hear me? The wig is famous. I'm not fooling with y'all. Can y'all hear me? Okay, good. Because I cannot hear myself. Why? All right. All right, I'm back now because I seen it said Mike was muted. Y'all should be able to hear me now. Okay, cool. All right, so this, oh, brother. They need to enter. I'm not fooling with y'all with this wig and the toilet tissue. I'm not doing this with y'all. All right, so boom. I do have to take accountability for even bringing this to my audience because boom, once I heard about it, I just threw it out there like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? This young lady is missing, spread the information, especially, you know, anybody who's missing is unfortunate, you feel me? Whether it's a woman, a man, a child, anybody who's missing, that's unfortunate, right? But I'm a Black woman. And I know for the most part in this country, especially, Black women are not taken seriously when things happen to us. You feel me? So I felt like, damn, son, first of all, right now, I'm feeling frustrated that people want to do all of this noise outside right now. So, anyways, I felt like being that we don't get a lot of coverage as it is, especially within this country, right? I felt like, nah, I got to spread the word. Plus, for the most part, when it comes to missing persons situations, I don't always see those things because unfortunately, a lot of missing persons reports don't get seen. A lot of missing persons reports aren't publicized, right? So when I seen that, you know, even the same thing for the two little boys right here that went missing right here in Harlem. Now I'm saying in New York City, I posted that. And then when I seen Carlee Russell was missing, I'm like, I seen that on somebody else's page. So I'm like, oh, shoot. All right. I see a missing persons. Let me jump on it. So I jumped on it, but I'm not even going to hold you. I felt like I should wait and see what's going on. But at the same time, it's a sticky situation. You don't want to wait because what if you can help? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have a platform. I got over 20,000 people on my platform. I could help too in some sort of form of fashion. So let me spread the word on all my platforms. I put it on here on YouTube. I put it on Facebook. I put it on Instagram. I put it on TikTok. You understand? So I was like, you know, we got to spread this word. We got to bring Carlee home. And people from the jump was already questioning her. People from the jump was like, nah, something seemed fishy. And I'm like, dang, every time it comes to a Black woman, it's something that a Black woman is going through. Nobody believes her. Like from the jump, everybody always got to ask questions always. And so I felt like, nah, we got to spread this. I was on the side of something happened to her. We got to spread this information. We got to get Carlee home. And like I said before, I said it in the comments on my post. I said it right here in the comments on the live. I've said it even in my personal life. I said it like, I feel like if there was a child that she saw and might have been used as bait, because that's happened before. I've seen people talk about that. Like, yeah, that's true. Like, even it was a lady I seen her saying how one time she heard a baby crying outside her crib and she called 911 and they told her, the dispatcher themselves told her, do not open the door for that crying baby because there's human traffickers who uses that as bait to bring, innocent people out. You know what I'm saying? Like bring innocent people, close to the child, and then that's how you get snatched up. So she was saying that even the operator was telling her that on the 911 call when she called. This is a whole different separate situation. So I'm just saying that when people kept saying, well, where's the baby? I'm like, well, maybe the baby was used as bait. Maybe somebody really did snatch her up. Like maybe it was somebody right there. Maybe it wasn't a little baby. Maybe it was a child. I don't know. But I just was not trying to believe that Carlee was bullshitting us. And then it's just come to find out she was. And now I'm like, well, what for? All this for what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's all of this for? What even happened? And why did you do all of that? And it really upset me because that reminded me too of like, it was a young lady. I don't know if y'all remember. There was a young lady who was going to school and she lied and said a whole bunch of white boys jumped her and cut her locks off her hair. Come to find out, she didn't want locks in her hair, so she cut them off herself and lied about it. And I was pissed because I was like, damn, like now when there's little black girls or boys really actually getting bullied in school and really going through it, it's going, because guess what? Even though the white girl who lied, and there's been a couple of them white girls who lie, you don't see the whole community of white folk rallying around like, you know what I'm saying? Now we could never believe another one of our white sisters because this one or two lied. You feel me? It don't go like that. It don't matter who lied in that community. If they go missing, the whole world stops. But for us, the world don't stop at all anyway. And then here you is with this cockatoo story that you done pulled out your ass, got all of us in a frenzy, all of us in our feelings, all of us wasting prayers because we all prayed to God for her. You feel me? I mean, still in all, I'm glad she came home because anything could have literally happened to her during that time. But still, it's just like, girl, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you wasted a lot of resources. And this was one of the few times where we actually see major, like, coverage for one of our people. So it's just made me so disappointed. I'm over here, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, having conversations with people in comments and seeing what their mind is about with this. And I'm even feeling like, damn, that's not right for people to question this girl. And to be honest with you, let's say if this story was true, right? Let's say if Carlee was really abducted somewhere and was brought back home. And let's say the family still felt like they didn't want to talk about it. I still feel like if in a situation where it's true, right? I still feel like a family isn't necessarily a person, whomever, is not necessarily obligated to jump right out the bat and be like, hey, everybody, yo, this is what happened. Let me tell you, It's not gossip. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not gossip. It's real life stuff. So I still feel like it should never be a rush to get answers in situations like this. But at the same time, I think people wouldn't want to answer so badly because people's discernment did them right and said, no, this is bullshit. I want answers now. And I think that's what it was. I think I misjudged that piece of it where it was like, yo, y'all all feeling for answers, like y'all entitled to it. I don't think people was feeling entitled to it now that I'm understanding the situation better. I think folks just wanted answers because they knew it was bullshit. And for me, I felt like, nah, it's not bullshit. So they don't owe you answers. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm mad because y'all pulling on y'all pulling, and I say y'all because at this point the parents know what the fuck is up. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't know the full details, at least they know their daughter's full of shit. So I say y'all because the parents, y'all, the ones who got on camera, y'all ain't have to do that. Y'all getting on camera trying to cover for her. And y'all know it's some bullshit. Y'all know she ain't get abducted. You know what I'm saying? So y'all, as a collective, you mama, you daddy, you Carlee, and your man, y'all all pulling on the heartstrings of folks that was really feeling bad. You feel me? And then you're going to make a phone call talking about, oh, it's a baby, because you knew that was going to get shit jumping. You know what I'm saying? If it was just you, sis, unfortunately, nobody probably would have gave a fuck. But since you mentioned a baby, that's when authorities went, you know what I'm saying? jumping and skipping and hopping to try to see what was going on. And so that shit weak as hell. And so I didn't look at the comments this entire time that I was talking. So now I'm gonna look in the comments and see what y'all are saying. This is crazy. Cadillac said the coverage we do get that are true aren't treated fairly at all. Exactly. Sex trafficking is a serious issue for her to play with. Right, exactly. Oh, thank you, Real Vibes. She was stealing from her job. What was she? And didn't they say that too? Like, they was looking at her phone and she was searching up how to get away with taking money out of a register or some shit like that. And then she looking up Amber Alerts and kidnappings and what the fuck you researching all that for? Because you was planning this out, you weirdo. Like, what's like, girl, what? She needs some mental she really needs some mental evaluation. And I remember that story, right? There's been a lot of white women lying. I still mean those prayers. I'm just disappointed. Yeah, exactly. Brilliant Brown Beauty. Like, it's like we still wanted her to come home safe regardless. But it's like we sitting here praying on you so hard because we think that something's wrong with you. And there's nothing freaking wrong with you. Like, you just, feel me? Like, you just, man, you dead ass calculated this whole thing and you ain't do a good job because look, now egg is on your face. And high key, like, I feel like she need to face something for that at this point now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to face some sort of a consequence because that was wrong how you did it. My prayer warrior still will pray for her because she needs help and to never pull no crap for that with her crazy tail self. Her parents do know what's going on. They helping her a lot, right? Speak with your girl Marcella. Hi, honey. Yep, looking up how to get away with crimes, right? And failed miserably. The world's stupidest criminals, I swear. Tawana Brawley. Who Tawana Brawley? Cham, hi. Oh my God, how are you? Who is Tawana Brawley? Let's look that up. Tawana Brawley. The name sound familiar too. That's funny. Hold on. Tawana Brawley. I feel like I heard of this before. At age 15, hold up. Tawana Brawley is an African-American woman from New York who gained notoriety in November of 87 at the age 15 when she accused 4 white men of kidnapping and raping her over a 4-day period. On November 28th, 1987, Brawley was found in a trash bag. What? After having been missing for 4 days from her home. She had racial slurs written on her body and was covered in feces. Brawley accused 4 white men. Wait, I just lost where I was reading. Brawley accused 4 white men of having raped her. The charges received widespread national attention in part because of the appalling condition in which she had been left, her young age, and the professional status of the persons she accused of the crime, including police officers and a prosecuting attorney. What the fuck? After hearing evidence, a grand jury concluded in October of 1988 that Brawley had not been the victim of a forcible sexual assault and that she herself may have created the appearance of such an attack. What? Wow, Stephen Pagones, the New York prosecutor who Brawley had accused as being one of her assailants, had later successfully sued Brawley and her 3 advisors for defamation. Whoa. Brawley received considerable support from the Black community. Some academics have suggested that Brawley was victimized by bias, reporting that had credited racial stereotypes. The mainstream media's coverage drew heated criticism from the Black press and from many Black leaders. What type of sick shit is that? Like, and did you not think that that was back in the 80s too. So I guess DNA and stuff like that wasn't really jinking back then. Yikes. Yeah, Real Vibes. They need to bring her up on some charges. Yeah, I just read it on Marcella. Yeah, I see it was back in the 80s. What? A girl lied about being raped in a park in Brownsville only to find out she was sleeping with her dad or her stepdad. Wow. What? Yeah, she 51 now, Real Vibes. Tawana Brawley is 51. And I wonder what she living her life like now. She was 15 at the time. Oh, she better pray nobody know who the I'm pretty sure wherever she go, if anybody recognizes that name, she probably done changed her name by now. I'd have changed my name and wore wigs and everything. That's embarrassing. That's so stupid and sick, right? Yes, Tracy's sick. Tawana fooled everybody. She sure as hell did. Marcella says she's 58. Yeah. Yo, man. So this, I feel, I don't feel bad for spreading the word about Carlee because it is what it is. My intentions was pure, but I do have to take accountability for not, waiting until there was more details. But it's just a tricky situation because it's like, do you wait in situation? Like, do you really want to wait in situations like that? Like, oh, you hear somebody's missing. Oh, well, let me sit on my hands and just wait for more details. And then maybe I'll talk about it. When you have, you're in a position where you have an opportunity to talk about something and spread the word, and maybe you never know, you can make a difference and maybe, help people spread the word and then possibly, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just never know who sees what. Like I said before, even with the videos that I do and the stories that I do, my stories always reach either the loved ones or the parents or the family members of the victims that I speak about. So if I could, reach somebody that's, across the country, or if I got people who watch me from Australia, from Jamaica, then I feel like if I help spread the word about something, I can possibly assist in some kind of way. So it's like, do you really want to sit on your hands and wait? Or, you know what I'm saying? Do you want to spread the word just off good faith and good intentions? And that's the tricky part, especially when it comes to missing persons, because the first 48 hours within missing persons is so crucial, very crucial. So when I seen it, I just jumped without even, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just jumped right to it without putting too much thought into it, especially when I seen her man post about it, because I'm like, oh, okay, because normally you don't see that a lot neither. But to me, it looked like, oh, all right, so her man, like, yo, this is crazy. Like, the moms. Oh, and then I was hearing people saying like, oh, Carlee never said she was abducted. Carlee herself never said anything other than the fact that she saw a baby on the damn side of the road and then she skedaddled and did whatever she was doing. But her people around her said she was abducted. She knew they was thinking that she was abducted. And so I don't care if she didn't say verbatim out of her mouth, I'm abducted. Like, you knew that people thought that. You knew people was going to think that when you started screaming on the phone and let the line go dead, like, and had people on the other line thinking something happened to you. You knew that was your intention. So it's not about, oh, she herself didn't say verbatim she was abducted. I don't give a F verbatim. I don't care about, we don't need verbatim when it's clear as day, is right there. She wanted people to believe she was abducted, period. Like, it's very simple. It's not a hard concept to understand. She never paid the debt to New York. Oh, for real, Marcella? Tawana never paid her debt to New York for that. Wow. Yeah, Tracy, we all believed her. As a mom to a 26-year-old, you was scared shift. Even me as a mom to a dang near 18-year-old, 14-year-old, and a 1-year-old. You know what I'm saying? This is why I love your channel. Thank you, sis. I love to advocate for children and adults, especially when they're under the right. Parents should not be condoning this mess. They should not. And that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all shouldn't have even said nothing. Like, y'all sitting up in front of these newscasters' face trying to, y'all probably thought like, oh, that was going to help her image. Nah, that didn't help. Y'all body language, first of all, was, you know what? I was listening to Milagro Grams, and she was saying, she had pointed out how when the reporter asked when the reporter had asked the parents, questions like yes or no questions, the parents were saying yes, definitely, right out of their mouth, but their heads was shaking no, side to side, like no. And I remember seeing a body language expert on TikTok say that, like, if you, one thing you saying out of your mouth, but if your head is moving a different way, the way your head is moving is the real answer. So y'all are sitting there saying yes, absolutely to these yes or no questions, but your head is moving no, then that means really deep down, the answer is no. Like in your mind, the answer is no. So, and if you hear my background, listen, family is home. Y'all gonna hear something a little bit while I'm up here. But yeah, so I was like, oh shit, I peeped that, and I'm like, yo, that's crazy. Oh, Reverend Al Sharpton got sued. Remember when Reverend Al Sharpton, whatever happened to him? Is he okay? Remember when his face used to be right there front and center for every single thing, that anything that had to do with like a Black community crisis? He was always right there with his slick back perm. Where he at? Cadillac said, I could have more, but not sure. Had my son at 16. I'm only in my 30s now, maybe one more, but that pregnancy is not something I enjoy. Yeah, me either. But I ain't gonna hold you. I'm willing to have one or two more in a few years. Her father was devastated because he knew him. Yes, and you could see the father sitting there like, yo, the father was sitting there sick. Like, oh my God, I know this is bullshit. I ain't even gonna hold you. If that was me, my father, my father got my back for a lot of things. But if that was me, for that right there, my father, he's a Muslim man. He would never sit by my side and coerce my bullshit, knowing that is dead fucking wrong like this, like knowing that I'm dead wrong. He would not do that. Nope. He would stay out of it. He would be like, I'm not, no. And he would talk to me like, he would actually convince me to tell the truth. That's the type of man my father is. Like, he would not have sat right there stressed and going along with the bull crap. Oh my God, he looks like the Walking Dead. And Miss Big H said, now he missing in action. Al Sharpton not fat no more. Oh, I remember he lost a ton of weight. My dad would have been like, nah, you going to tell these people the truth, right? My father, what? My father would have been like, He would have been like, you know you fucked up, right? You know you got to tell those people what you really did, right? And he would ask me mad questions like, why would you do that? I don't know what the conversation is between Carlee and her parents or her man. This is what I wanted to say. I hate the rumors because, come on, we don't know these things to be true. Why, when it comes to our people, we always got to drag for filth? Folks is talking about she got knocked up by some 17-year-old boy and she was laid up with him. I'm like, how y'all gonna say something like, why is folks saying something like that? Then they said she was cheating on her man and she had him blocked, which I don't know, I don't know, that could be true. But they was like she was cheating on her man with the 17-year-old, and that's why she had her man blocked. But then she unblocked him when she quote unquote went missing. And I'm just like, what? Like, what? How do we know this? Like, why are folks saying that? Like, come on, that's a little bit much for me. Like, all right, granted, we could sit here and talk all day. Like, Carlee, you was stupid. Like, come on, that was dumb. You was stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? I understand what's that prefrontal? What's that called? When your brain is finally finished developing at 25, the prefrontal, what you call them in your brain, that part probably just finished developing for sis, because I swear to God, this dumb shit. This is dumb. This is so dumb. Sometimes, you know how you be so frustrated, you gotta chuckle. Erica, yes, unfortunately, Erica, she lied. And I did not want to believe that at all. I'm like, no. But once the press conference, the man said, I'm gonna leave this live up too. Once the man said, oh, she was searching up kidnapping and Amber Alerts and how to get away and how to do this and that, I'm like, oh, this bitch, you done set up your own. You set up your own stuff, but it was poorly done, and it was stupid. I really want to know why. Folks are saying probably because she was stealing from the job, but damn, so that warrants you to set up your own kidnapping? Like, girl, just deal with the fact that you got fired. What's all this for? So now I'm starting to feel like you wanted attention. Why did you need this kind of attention? Now I'm starting to wonder, is you okay up in the head? Like, did you, like, what's up, sis? Like, did you graduate what with an IEP? Like, is it because you're a little bit delayed? Like, are you like, a few chips short of a cookie because this right here is insane. Yeah, they drag us immediately. Exactly. Now it's really going to be harder for her to find another job. At this point, just be an entrepreneur, sis. At this point, just build up your own business quietly underneath an LLC, underneath an entirely different alias. Because the moment folks find out that Carlee Nicole Russell is out here selling products to people, nobody's gonna buy. They're not gonna believe you. They're not gonna believe whatever you buying. They ain't gonna whatever you selling. They ain't gonna buy it because nobody's gonna believe you. They're gonna be like, "Oh, well, did you lie about this? And did you lie about? And you sure you know what I'm saying?" She better create a whole new alias underneath an LLC and just go into business for herself at this point. Because, girl, who's hiring you now? For real, for real. You done stole. You done set up a poor scenario of being kidnapped, and we still don't really have answers. So, girl, the white man said, being that it causes national white. Oh, excuse me. What? Excuse me, y'all. The white man said, being that it caused nationwide attention, I believe they're gonna make an example out of her, especially in the South. Right? Yes, Carlee, I had to say her whole name because, girl. But to come back to this, yeah, real vibes. And then she in Alabama. Cause Alabama, down, that's the deep South. They gonna rip her to shreds. Rip her to shreds. They're going to embarrass the fuck out of her because she embarrassed them. The little boy who cried wolf, that's facts. Yes, Cadillac, first, middle, and last. That's crazy. We really pray and hope for her return. She's a nut. We'll never forgive her. I mean, I can't say I'll never forgive her because I don't even give a fuck about Shorty that much. But at this point now, you know what I'm saying? And plus, I think people could change, you know what I'm saying? And so this is outlandish. But what I will do is I will never forget that this happened. And I'm never gonna stop advocating. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna stop advocating regardless to this situation. I feel like Black people as a community, we shouldn't let this get us to a point where we don't want to move when it comes to cases, especially Black women, but Black boys too. And I am focusing on my community, like I said, because these types of problems don't exist in the white folk community. You know what I'm saying? But in the Black community, it does. We got outsiders who are our enemies, and then we're our own enemies to a detriment. So I just don't want the Black community to look at this and be like, anytime they see a Black girl missing, a Black boy missing, and immediately assume like, oh, they're lying. Oh, please, this is bullshit. Is this another Carlee Russell? You know what I'm saying? I don't want the Black community to do that. That's the thing, you know? So, I mean, if you are a supporter of mine, you know what I'm saying? I would just highly suggest you to not take this and be and look at everybody as a Carlee Russell. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't look at every situation as a Carlee Russell, because there are situations like this one where people do get lured by children and other things too, money. You know what I'm saying? I just seen something the other day where somebody left the car door open purposely with no key in the ignition, hoping that somebody was going to touch the car door. That's another thing. Sometimes people leave notes in the car windshield. You touch it, it's some chemical on there to knock you out and all kinds of shit. You know, I remember when there was a couple that was driving, they seen something on the windshield. And the man grabbed it first. And then the wife took it from him, like, let me see. And then they realized it wasn't nothing and they threw it. But while he was driving, he started getting woozy. So she tell him, pull over, pull over. They start feeling funny. They called 911. 911 come just in time. Thank God. They was about to go into a whole fentanyl overdose because somebody left. They fucking put the fentanyl on the paper to drug them to try to abduct them. But I guess being that the man was present, obviously the abductors wasn't going to follow behind this lady at this point now. But when they called, the lady called 911, pulled over. 911 came, come to find out they was about to go into a whole overdose from the fentanyl. That was drug. The paper was drugged with fentanyl that they touched. And you know, with fentanyl, you could touch it. Even I even witnessed a police officer going to an overdose in 0.2 seconds because he touched fentanyl, and it was so pure. The motherfucker went into an overdose right there on the body cam. It showed him he went into an overdose in 0.2 seconds, and his partner had to stab him with a one of those things that bring you back type shit. Now I'm saying, I don't know the correct term. So things like this happen. You feel me? Like babies is used as bait. You know, fake car notes is used as bait. Money on the ground is used as bait. Sometimes they'll even put like little items around the car to make you be like, what's this? And look down, now they're catching you off guard. It's a lot of stuff like that happens. So I don't want people to utilize this scenario to be the reason why they don't take these cases seriously moving forward, especially in our community. Feel me? Feel me, Erica? Right. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. I read that. Anaya Blanchard, mom, was out there helping. Who's Anaya Blanchard? Yeah, you real vibes. You saw that, right? With the officer. It was right there on his body cam. He touched it. He was like, oh, this is fentanyl or something. And next thing you knew, he dropped. Like, it was crazy. And his partner had to stab him with the thing to bring him back. It was, I never seen something like that. I didn't even knew fentanyl was that strong. Feel me? So it's scary. You know what I mean? It's definitely a scary situation. And I'm just I'm disappointed in Carlee, disappointed in her. And I'm just looking forward to more details. I really want to know the girl that got kidnapped and murdered in Alabama in 2019. Wow. So her own daughter was kidnapped and murdered in Alabama, in her state where she lived. She sees this story about Carlee Russell, and she's like, oh my God, this could be like another one of my daughter's situations. If she gets out there, hit the ground running, looking for Carlee Russell, only to be bamboozled because Carlee Russell was never. And can you imagine the trauma that was on that young, rest in peace to that young lady, on her mom? Can you imagine the trauma that was for her? Can you imagine how she feels? This is what I'm saying. Like, Carlee Russell, are you slow? You got to be slow. You know what I'm saying? Is you delayed because, girl, you're not even thinking and considering other people at all. You're not considering it at all. And maybe she thought that it wasn't going to get no coverage because she's Black. But you mentioned a child. So you knew it was going to get coverage. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, what is this, an attention grab? Damn, like, that's crazy. Yes, he was seizuring, right? Narcan. Thank you, Gail. Yes, Narcan. Exactly. Yes, real vibes. He was seizuring. Facts. He was like, it was crazy. I never seen no shit like that in my life. And she came to help. So sad. She was in the news. Damn, can you imagine the trauma that was for her? Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, all right, well, I'm about to end this live, you guys, because it's not much more to say about it for now. We're gonna, of course, stay updated about it. I'm leaving this live up for anybody who missed the press conference. That's what this is. My commentary right now is just a follow-up of the press conference. So if you didn't get to see the press conference, of course, you could probably see it all over YouTube, but I'll have it up here on my channel too. I'm about to get back to the family, get back to researching for another story that's coming y'all way this week, I believe, or this weekend. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Carlee Russell, just to recap, Carlee Russell is a bullshit piece of shit, stinky face liar, and I'm so mad at her, but we're gonna get past this, and hopefully we'll get some answers from her at this point. But if not, it is what it is. Fuck her. You feel me? I love y'all, and we will talk later. Bye. Oh wait, let me fix that. I'm not saying bye. I never say bye. My bad. Later, because byes are forever. Chat. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.